Imagine walking away from stability, risking everything on a dream most people laughed at. No funding, no safety net, just raw belief. This is the story of one bold entrepreneur who started small and ended up building a Fortune 500 giant. Welcome back to Millionaire Blueprint, the place where real stories of ambition, failure, and massive success come to life. Today we're talking about a risk taker who turned a tiny business idea into a billion-dollar corporation, one that now sits proudly on the Fortune 500 list. Stick around, because the lessons in this story could change the way you think about business forever. One, the early spark. Meet Daniel Cortez, a 29-year-old man stuck in a job that paid well, but left him feeling trapped and uninspired. By day, he was a logistics manager at a large shipping company, overseeing shipments and routes, making sure everything ran smoothly. But by night, Daniel's mind wandered far beyond the cubicle walls. What bothered him the most was a problem he saw every single day: small businesses struggling to get their products delivered on time. They faced constant delays, lost orders, and sky-high shipping costs, problems that big companies seem to ignore. He watched frustrated store owners and entrepreneurs lose customers simply because the logistics systems weren't built for them. One evening after a long day, Daniel sat at his kitchen table, nursing a cold cup of coffee. He shared his frustrations with his wife, Maria. "I keep thinking, what if I started a logistics company, but one that actually cared about small businesses, gave them the kind of attention and service the big players don't?" Maria looked at him thoughtfully and smiled. "You've got the knowledge and the passion, Daniel. If anyone can do it, it's you." Daniel didn't have a big network of investors or fancy office space. What he did have was $15,000 saved from years of working hard and a reliable laptop. That night, a seed was planted. Despite warnings from friends and family who thought he was crazy to leave a stable job, Daniel made a bold decision. He handed in his resignation, rented a small garage as his office and warehouse, and registered his new company, SwiftLink Logistics. His journey was about to begin, with nothing but an idea and an unstoppable will to solve a problem nobody else was fixing. The struggle years. The first 12 months after launching SwiftLink Logistics were nothing short of a nightmare. Daniel faced one challenge after another. There were no clients to speak of, but bills kept piling up relentlessly. Every week, one of his old delivery vans would break down, forcing him to scramble for repairs on a shoestring budget. The tiny garage he rented was cluttered with tools, spare parts, and empty coffee cups, a constant reminder of the uphill battle he was fighting. Without a team, Daniel wore every hat imaginable. He was the salesman pitching cold calls during the day, the operations manager coordinating routes, and even the delivery driver working late into the night. When others were asleep, Daniel was out on the roads, making sure packages reached their destinations on time. In the first 3 months, he cold called over 300 small businesses, and only 3 took a chance on him. One client gave him a blunt warning: "You've got 1 week to prove yourself. Mess this up and I'm out." Daniel took the challenge seriously. He delivered on time, every single time, rain or shine, day or night. Slowly, word began to spread in the small business community. People started talking about the guy who actually cared and kept his promises. But profitability was still a distant dream. Daniel worked grueling 90-hour weeks, often sleeping on a couch in the office just to save money. His friends were climbing corporate ladders, getting promotions, and enjoying weekends off, while Daniel collected parking tickets for the van he used as his office on wheels. Despite the exhaustion and setbacks, Daniel's determination never wavered. He knew the struggle was part of the journey, and he was willing to pay the price for his dream. The turning point. By the time Daniel entered his second year, something remarkable began to happen. For months, he had been quietly doing his best, but growth was slow. Then out of nowhere, a single LinkedIn post from one of his most satisfied clients went viral. That post shared how SwiftLink had saved their business during a critical holiday season. Overnight, Daniel's inbox flooded with messages. 20 new leads reached out asking for his services. It was the breakthrough he desperately needed. With every dollar he earned, Daniel reinvested back into the company. He bought newer, more reliable delivery vehicles and invested in simple yet effective software that allowed him and his growing team to track shipments in real time. This tech upgrade gave small business owners peace of mind they'd never experienced before. Word spread that SwiftLink wasn't just another logistics company. It was different because of one simple promise Daniel made and kept. We'll care about your package more than they ever will. As clients grew in number, Daniel hired his first team, 5 freelancers who believed in his vision and were willing to work just as hard to help it grow. He was careful, though. He refused to bring in outside investors. He wanted full control of his company and believed in the power of bootstrapping, growing steadily without risking the company's independence. By the end of year 3, Daniel's gamble had paid off. SwiftLink was serving over 400 clients, and revenue had climbed to an impressive $3 million. The little startup was no longer just surviving, it was thriving, scaling to the big leagues. Daniel realized early on that scaling SwiftLink wouldn't come from sheer hard work alone. It required smart systems and technology. So he made a bold decision to invest heavily in AI-powered logistics tools. This wasn't just any software. It included predictive routing that optimized delivery paths, real-time tracking dashboards so clients could see exactly where their packages were, and customer portals that made managing shipments effortless. With these innovations in place, SwiftLink began attracting bigger clients, mid-size retail chains and regional e-commerce brands that needed reliable, tech-driven logistics solutions. But Daniel didn't stop there. He forged strong partnerships with warehouses, manufacturers, and last-mile delivery services to build a seamless supply chain network. By the time SwiftLink reached its 6th year, the company had grown exponentially. They employed over 250 people and operated in 30 cities across the country. Revenue had soared to an impressive $120 million annually. Thanks to his commitment to service and innovation, Daniel started gaining widespread recognition. Media outlets began calling him the People's Logistics CEO, a leader who had revolutionized an industry by putting small businesses first. The Fortune 500 leap. By year 9, Daniel's hard work and vision had paid off in ways even he hadn't dared to imagine. SwiftLink Logistics, once a tiny startup operating out of a cramped garage, officially made it onto the Fortune 500 list. Ranked at number 481, this was more than just a milestone. It was a declaration that Daniel had built something truly extraordinary. The company's annual revenue had soared past $6 billion, transforming SwiftLink into a logistics empire trusted by businesses across the nation. From humble beginnings to corporate giant, Daniel's journey was nothing short of remarkable. His story soon caught the attention of business schools and industry leaders. Case studies were written about how he disrupted a competitive market by focusing on trust, customer care, and technology, proving that even small businesses can compete with giants if they stay true to their values. But despite all the fame and fortune, Daniel never lost sight of where he came from. He knew the struggles small entrepreneurs face because he had lived them. So he gave back in meaningful ways. He launched a mentorship program dedicated to guiding aspiring founders, especially those from underrepresented communities. He also offered discounted logistics services to minority-owned startups, helping them compete on a level playing field. In countless interviews, Daniel summed up his success with simple but powerful words. "I didn't build a business. I built trust. That's why we made it." His legacy wasn't just about money or growth. It was about proving that integrity and care could build an empire that lasts. Daniel Cortez risked everything and transformed a tiny startup into a Fortune 500 company. His story proves one thing: big success doesn't need a big start, just big courage. If this inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'll bet on myself. See you in the next video. And remember, your journey could be next.